All right. Joining us on the phone right now is an actor who's in a movie I am dying to see, and I heard he does an amazing job playing a guy who is, I assume, to be a racist pitcher for the Pittsburgh Pirates. It's a movie about Jackie Robinson and his struggle to be the first black player in the history of the major leagues. This is Linc from the movie 42. What's up, Linc?
How you doing, sir?
What's going on, man?
I am just trying to process all the things that are going on this week.
Oh yeah, there's a lot.
Doing?
Like what? Like what's on your mind? Anything you want to talk about?
Oh, we just had the big premiere in L.A. Tuesday.
Yup.
And so that was, I mean, this is my first big studio feature film. So.
I was going to ask, yeah, is this your first big deal, huh?
Yes, sir. And my day job is working with Jimmy Kimmel right across the street. So I get to go from my day job and walk across the street to my dream job. It was pretty it was one of those days that you can't write it because it would be fake.
What do you do for Kimmel?
I'm the audience producer over there.
Oh, wow. So have I met you?
No, sir. No, sir. I've been there when you were there, but we've never interacted. I've always been dealing with
okay. All right. Well,
hide.
You do a good job. The Kimmel Show. I'll tell you what, I've done the Jimmy Kimmel Show about 8 times, and it's run brilliantly. You guys, and the audience is always great, so good job there. So your day job, you do a good job.
Well, thanks, sir. I appreciate that.
What do you do? You kind of fluff
He wrangles.
the audience?
He wrangles them. You're not the comic, right? Or warms them up. You wrangle them up, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I get them there, get them in seats, and then I kind of go over some rules with them before we start, and then the best warm up in the business comes out and does his thing, gets everybody laughing, and then the show starts.
Right. Well, yeah, you do a good job. I've been there and I've seen how it works. So, in other words, you went across to Man's Chinese.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
That's a big deal.
The timing worked out. The timing worked out perfect. So I did my work there, and then threw my suit on and walked across the street and hung out with my friends that shot this movie with.
So this movie I'm excited to see, man. There's never Jackie Robinson, the legendary guy who, again, my fans know this. I'm an enormous follower and fan of Jackie Robinson. I think he was, without question, one of the greatest people of the 20th century, of any century. To do what he did under the pressure he did it under, and not only to not crack emotionally, but to play great baseball in the face of what he had to deal with. Well, unbelievable, and just a classy guy, smart guy, and classy in every way, it seems, from stories you hear about him off the field. How do you get involved with this movie? How long of a process was it? How many auditions and stuff? And then tell us a little about shooting the movie.
For me, first of all, just piggybacking on everything you said, it's amazing to be a part, to tell a story of someone that went through what they went through. It's unbelievable. Now, the process for me to get this was 8 weeks,
Right.
8.5 weeks
Wow.
from the first audition, and went through several rounds of theatrical auditions, like working on the acting, and then I met with the director, Mr. Hegland, and then we, had our audition together. And then after that, 2 weeks go by, and I get a phone call, and it's baseball tryouts time. And so that was exciting. I'm like, okay, I made it through the acting part. Now it's time to go show them that I'm an athlete and I can actually play ball. And just crazy thing happened, which is insane. This is my first big studio feature that I'm trying to land a part in. And so the day of the baseball tryouts, my agents give me another audition earlier that morning, which, when you're an actor and you're trying to work, auditions are fantastic. Now, my audition's all the way in Santa Monica, and I have to go to Westlake High School for the baseball tryout.
Right.
Of course, the first one runs late. I have to run to my car. I'm throwing my baseball uniform on, trying to get into my car. I lock my keys into my car.
My God,
Now,
that's
I'm
a classic
already
LA story. A classic LA story, because now you're dealing with LA traffic.
Exactly.
Oh.
So I'm gonna. Very long story short, I run across the street to a car dealership. I'm like, please, can you break into my car? I have to go to an audition. It's Harrison Ford. It's the break of my lifetime. And this guy is looking at me like I am the stupidest human being who's ever stood in front of him. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, listen, I get it. I'm a stupid actor. I'm an idiot, but just give me a hammer.
Yeah.
And they were like, what?
That's all I need.
Give me a hammer. Just ran across the street, smashed out my window, jumped in my car, and made it to the baseball tryouts. Come sliding in Dukes of Hazzard style with no window and jump out. And I made it there with 2 minutes to spare.
Wow.
So that was the start of my baseball tryout.
Wow.
And they're all looking at me like, why did you break the window out in your car? And I was like, I didn't want to be late.
Man, well, you
so
play
they were like, okay, well, let's see what you got.
You play a racist in the movie, so you should have just blamed it on a black guy. You should have got into character. It was, I'll tell you what, it was a colored guy broke into my car. And I can throw a ball, too. Can I have the part?
Exactly. That should have been the move.
Get into your character. Well, it shows that you're probably good at what you do, man, because through all that adversity, you get the gig.
So then the next week, got the phone call, got the part, and then the craziest thing besides all of that, once I booked it and we had 2 months of baseball training, baseball specific training, me and the other cast, and then we shoot my scenes in Birmingham, Alabama, which is where I'm from and grew up.
Oh,
so
man.
I went home to shoot my first big studio movie in the back door of where I grew up.
Oh, that is huge. So you must have been crawling with Birmingham ass. Right? I mean, how old are you?
I was getting a lot of phone calls.
How old are you, Linc?
I'm 32.
Oh, so you're right in the prime. Maybe a chick who never got out of town, but she wants to get out of town, and a chick who never talked in high school and stayed with the jock, and the jock is now a crystal meth head who blew his ear off in a crystal meth baking accident, and he's got a mullet still and a trailer, and you come back, I went to L.A., she blew you off for him because he could throw a football or a baseball, but now you come back and I'm playing baseball in a movie with Harrison Ford, whore. How's that sound, whore? And then you just bring her into the trailer and just use her, and then just say, "Get out of my face." Did that happen, Linc? Please tell me.
I was like, by the way, I forgot your name. Who are you?
Yeah, please tell me that happened. Yeah, you should say, I just want to, you know what, honey, after I bang you, I'll pay you $50. I want to watch Harrison Ford bang you.
It's like, listen, just so you know, like the whole team's coming through right after this. So.
Yeah, I want to watch Lando Calrissian bang you. Whatever his name is in that movie. But that is great, dude. That's jackpot. You go home to do this movie. That's unreal.
Yes, sir. It was a dream of dreams for sure.
Linc, did you play baseball when you were growing up there in Birmingham?
I played up until I was 12 years old, and of course my agents told them that I was magnificent when it got to the baseball tryout part.
Yeah.
He was one of those. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Say it. Continue.
No, I was just going to say it was funny because I remember the day I got that phone call that I had the baseball tryouts. They called and they said, "Hey, how well can Linc pitch?" And my agents were like, "Oh, he's phenomenal. He's an amazing pitcher. He's just an incredible athlete." And then they called me right after, and there was like a tremble in her voice. She's like, "Please tell me you can throw a baseball." I was like, "It's all good. I'm an athlete. I can throw it."
Absolutely. Well, we're looking at a picture of you. You look good in it. You look great in it. Now, growing up in Birmingham, was it hard to pitch in a Klan outfit? Did you ever slide into second during a Klan meeting and get the sheets dirty?
That's messed up.
He comes back home to Birmingham and he's shooting. He goes, "Who's producing this movie? A Jew? You gonna make some Jew lips?"
Oh man.
No, but dude, I'm happy for you. That's a great story.
I have to brag about this just because of the baseball stuff. I was proud. The coaches, they worked so hard with me. I actually got into 2 months of training. I got my fastball up to the high 80s.
That's impressive.
They said they were pleased with that. So
pleased? That's impressive. Most athletes you'd see in a sports, most actors you see in a sports movie, they're horrible. Oh, I mean, they're terrible at it, you know. So the kudos to you. That's great. And you shoot the movie. Are you happy with how it worked out? Were the times where you were apprehensive? Because being a guy with his first break, I've been there before. You're gonna get if you're gonna get fired from a movie, it's going to be the first week because you don't have a lot of stuff done yet, and they could still fire you. You know.
Exactly.
Did you go through that? Were you happy from the beginning, or any time were you worried you were going to get fired?
Before we were setting up my first shot, and I was terrified because there was 3 basically $1 million cameras around the catcher, and they're like, "Yeah, listen, we've heard about this arm. We really want to see you throw it in there." And in my head, I was like, "Oh no, I'm in front of 1,000 extras, so I'm already getting amped up and the adrenaline's going." And I was like, "You want me to throw toward all this money? Like, I'm going to throw one right through a camera, and then I'm like, this dude just cost us $1 million. Get out of here." So I was horrified the first throw. Like, I was so scared that I was either going to launch one in the stands or just airmail it right through one of the cameras. But luckily, none of that happened, and I settled in, and it was good.
Good. Well, you know, being a white guy from Birmingham, Alabama, when the producers say to you, "We need you to play a racist pitcher," you could have honestly said, like, "Well, you know, we're 50-50 there. I could probably fake the pitching part."
You know, his role is pivotal in this movie.
It is.
He
You play a guy named
beans Jackie Robinson, and it's like the first time that his Dodger teammates
get around them. And
Yeah.
so you play a guy named Fritz Ostermuller. Now, describe your character. What kind of a jerk off is this guy?
He was definitely the journeyman of his time, and he by no means was a fan of Jackie, like almost everyone that he played against. And the difference between him and the other guys was he just decided to go ahead and make it physical instead of just the verbal abuse.
Wow.
Which Jackie took. He was going to take it into his own hands and go, "Okay, if nothing else is working, then I'm going to get you off my field by, making you be carried off."
Back in those days, people don't remember this. They didn't wear helmets either, hitters. Hitters wore just the woolen caps. They had no protections. You could kill a guy.
Just a wool ball cap.
Yeah.
Which is terrifying.
And now, did you have to say a real racist thing a lot in many takes in a row? Is it awkward? Like, I've been there where you have to say something really awkward that's not you. And nowadays, if it's a racist thing, did you have to yell out racist stuff a lot for a lot of takes?
With my character, I didn't yell out the over the top racist thing. I was just going more directly at him physically.